He hit Lincoln with a shot, and Lincoln's helmet flew off, and we thought his head had flew off, you know.
Basically depended on intimidation. When he fought, he basically intimidated his opponent. They were intimidated before they even got in the ring. He was a massive guy, and on all circuits, he was just utterly awesome. And plus, he punched.
A lot of people don't know this. Sonny Liston never lifted weights. He was born with the potential to be strong and developed his strength by working in farm fields as a child. No boxer ever had a sadder or harder childhood than Sonny Liston. From the day he was born, whenever that was, Sonny had an unbelievably cruel and bitter life. Sonny was not allowed to go to school, but worked on the land from the time he could walk, and was beaten with a whip when he didn't work hard enough. Sonny's sister said he was put to work on the bitter little farm where he was born before he was 3 years old, from sunup to sundown, most days with little or no food, and with a father who used a whip on him if he thought Sonny could work harder. The product of a harsh, unforgiving life, Charles Sonny Liston was born into a sharecropping family as the second youngest child in a combined family of 25 children who farmed the rocky, poor-quality land of Morledge Plantation near Johnson Township, St. Francis County, Arkansas. Other family members confirmed that his father inflicted beatings and whippings so severe on Sonny that the scars were still visible decades later. Liston would later say, "The only thing my old man ever gave me was a beating." The relentlessly sadistic father's whippings left lifelong scars on the boxer. "If he missed a day," Liston said, "I'd feel like saying, 'How come you didn't whip me today?' I had nothing when I was a kid but a lot of brothers and sisters, a helpless mother, and a father who didn't care about any of us. We grew up with few clothes, no shoes, little to eat. My father worked me hard and whupped me hard." Sonny reflected on his childhood later when speaking of prison. "At least they fed us 3 times a day in prison." He told Boxing Illustrated in 1964 about his life before prison. "On the good days, I ate. On the bad ones, I told my stomach to forget it." Johnny Taco, who trained Sonny, remembered the first time Sonny took off his shirt and the horrible whip scars on Sonny's back. Sonny said, "Me and my father had bad doings." He explained, "As far back as I can remember, no matter how little I was, no matter if I had anything to eat or not, my father expected me to work from sunup to sundown in those fields. After the mule died, I pulled the damn plow, and if I didn't pull it hard enough, he whipped me. Most days, he whipped me anyway. If he didn't whip me, I would wonder why." But that terrible cruelty and vicious hard work made Sonny strong. Johnny Taco trained 3 of the hardest hitters in history: Sonny Liston, George Foreman, and Mike Tyson. When asked which of them hit the hardest, his answer was simple. Sonny Liston hit the hardest, and he was the strongest fighter I ever saw too. Taco also said, "Nobody hit those bags like Sonny. He tore bags up. He could knock you across the room with a jab. I saw him knock guys out with a straight jab. Bam!" When asked if Liston hit harder than Foreman or Tyson, Taco said, "You bet." He was then asked if Liston was stronger than Foreman or Tyson. Again, Taco replied, "You bet." Chuck Wepner, comparing Foreman to Liston, said Liston was more powerful. "It hurts if anybody hits you. I could always take it, absorb it, and come back. But with Liston, after you got hit by him, you were very wary to make that move again. We trained to stick a jab and move with Liston, but he stayed right on your chest, throwing punches. Not like Ali, who would hit you and get out. George was powerful too, but Sonny Liston was the best puncher." Wepner also said the 40-year-old Liston was the strongest fighter he ever faced. A good example of Sonny's sheer strength was an exercise he devised in training camp, loading an industrial-sized wheelbarrow full of rocks and wheeling it up and down a hill. George Foreman, then 20 years old, went from winning gold in the Olympics to working with Sonny Liston, who by then was twice his age. In training with the old man, Foreman could only carry 1 wheelbarrow for every 3 Sonny could carry. Decades later, Foreman would recall Sonny in awe. "His strength. You just can't believe how strong he was." Sonny Liston knocked out tough fringe contender Wayne Bethea in 1958 in 69 seconds of the first round. Liston dropped Bethea for the first time in his career, knocking out 7 teeth and breaking 9 more. 16 teeth knocked out or broken with 1 punch. Another example of Sonny's power happened in the mid-60s. While sparring with Ray Schoeninger in Denver, Liston hit him with a jab so hard the stitching in Ray's protective headgear tore apart, and the blow, which got through, knocked out 3 teeth. With just a jab, he destroyed protective headgear, knocking it apart and then knocking out teeth. Liston was arrested 19 times and imprisoned twice. Once, he took a gun and nightstick from a police officer who was harassing him, beat the officer, and broke his knee. On another occasion, when he was again being harassed, an enraged Sonny picked the officer up over his head like a sack of wheat, carried him over, and threw him in a trash bin. When Ali was asked if he could have said one thing to Sonny, who was long dead by then, Ali said, "Man, he scared me. Liston was the only man I ever really feared in my life."